Hey there. Day 17, still no alcohol. Awesome. There's another open bar at work today. Uh, I had some really strong, I'm just going to call these ones temptations. I was really tempted to go over there and get one. I like almost habitually kind of walked in that direction, was like, and just my mind almost automatically thought, like, oh, cool, I can get a couple of drinks. And it was kind of, that part was probably stepping into the cravings territory, in all honesty, where my mind got really excited that it's like, yes, there's a bar here. I forgot about the whole project for a second. And I, had to really reason with myself, because I do all my filming at night, and when they do the open bars, it's only from like 3 to 4:30, and um, something like that, where it's just for a short time, and early in the day, and it'd be so easy to hide it, from you, or from my wife, and from everybody. But I'm not. I know there's no way to prove that. It's just, anecdote, me telling you. But I really am not drinking anything. And I kind of didn't even think I'd be able to get this far or do this, but I am. So I had enough, motivation in me from this to be able to fend off the cravings, temptations. Won't worry about labels, but to not drink. So that was good. Success, go team. Anyway, excuse me. Tonight's topic, inspirations to avoid number 2. Tonight, this might even be number 1. It's a little more self-defining than Philip Seymour Hoffman, because he's not me, but he's still important too. He's a very good example of, my worst case scenario. He's my favorite actor, and I'm a movie nerd. Anyway, inspiration number 2, philosophy. Philosophy is my single most favorite subject ever, and it helps because it's a little broad, a little vague, covers so many different things, but that helps to make it my favorite. Just to kind of go from the start, side note before the start, I actually was debating about which philosophers to pick, because I thought for inspiration number 2, I would go with a certain philosopher, and then it became about which philosopher would it be, because I have my list of favorites, but then I also have I want to say a list of personal favorites, but then there's other philosophers that maybe aren't my favorites, but they made really important points and really important discoveries, really important thought experiments. It's crazy. So I had to just pick philosophy. So now, going back to the beginning, what is philosophy? Philosophy, by definition, what it means is the love of knowledge. Philo means love. I can't remember like Philadelphia is city of brotherly love. Philadelphia, I'm sorry, is the city of brotherly love. Philosophy is the love of knowledge. I'm just a huge fan of learning. I like not knowing something, and then that feeling that I get when I understand something. I have a great sense of wonder, which is really the driving force, behind philosophy. That curiousness, and that not just being curious, and just with questions, really questioning, thrive, like focused. It just comes down to learning and critical examination. I really love critically examining things and just trying to understand them better. And all of this is kind of, it involves philosophy. this project, I mean, involves philosophy, involves critical examination of me. I want to, I want to understand myself more and see what I can make myself do. Is kind of what a lot of this, comes down to. I know I have the power and capability of beating alcoholism, but philosophy helps me, kind of gives me the tools and the mindset to, like, what to look for, how to look for it, particularly because I don't know what to look for, but I can figure it out. And I've had to use lots of different methods, and why I like philosophy so much is just none of it's linear. It's all a process of understanding. It's not like math where it's a laid out plan, 2 + 2 is 4, and then you have someone to walk you through that. You can have a teacher to walk you through people's philosophies, and even that doesn't get you full bearings of what these people are saying, for several reasons. Sometimes it's a language barrier, but the most important part about philosophy is just being able to question, particularly with the question why is usually a good one, and you have to be comfortable with getting an I don't know, and you have to understand that answer I don't know, because we kind of grow up in a culture, a society where I don't know is a bad answer. Kids are afraid to say I don't know. A lot of times they're shamed for it, made fun of in schools, and I don't know is such a really important answer, because it doesn't, no part of it of saying if you ask me a question and I don't know the answer to it, me saying anything else is just lying, which is misinformation. So now you're operating on something that's not the truth. It's now false. It's completely false. It's a facade. You're operating on misinformation, wrong information, which is, it doesn't make any of your following actions, invalid or ineffective, but it definitely, if I give you misinformation, how could you be expected to act or answer, correctly, follow through with correctly? So, just being able to understand the answer I don't know, and sorry, I know I'm a little off. If I say I don't know to a question you ask me, I want to know the answer, though. It means I don't have an answer, but I can get one. There's nothing about the answer I don't know that would stop you from furthering investigation. So that's why I like the answer I don't know, because it just leaves so much room for willing to improve. It just means it's knowledge that you can obtain. I don't look at it like I don't have something. I look at it as a chance to get something. And I'm like, oh, I do wonder what this is about, or I wonder how this works, or where does this come from? Why am I drinking? Why can't I stop drinking? Those things. That's why philosophy is so applicable. It's not just people sitting around and thinking, and really a big part of philosophy is discussion. It's the discourse of figuring out together, because philosophy, you can do philosophy by yourself, just critical thought, but philosophy really needs to be done with other people, because you can't come to all these truths and all these discoveries and all these other questions just in your own mind. We need these other sources. Anyway, let me regroup a little bit here. Philosophers, because I have a few that are inspirational. My number one is Socrates, or Socrates, as some might have heard him called, but Socrates. I don't even know if he was real or not. Doesn't matter. There's He could have been an instrument, a character made up by another philosopher, Plato, who's also really important. But Socrates was the first really big philosopher to put forth I want to say obnoxiously question things to the point where it was almost obnoxious, but he was trying to get to the bottom of things, and other people didn't have answers. And his whole point wasn't to put forth an answer because he didn't know, but it was to challenge other people's answers because he knew they didn't know either. And he had this samurai logic where he's able to get people to, or at least in the books and the stories, to reveal how they're wrong. And he just has these word setups where the Socratic method, if you ever hear of the Socratic method, it's just a series of asking questions. You tell me something, I respond with a question. You give another answer, I have a question with that. And it's just questioning it till it gets down to, till you really can't question it anymore, till it gets down to the core. And at least in the stories, what he goes through is that people can't pose answers, but he just exposes them and gets them to admit that they don't know or don't really have good reason. Not that they're incorrect, but that they don't know either. And they're going about as if they know. I feel like I was kind of doing that with alcohol. I was walking around saying I can quit, I don't need a drink. This is my last one, and the next one just wouldn't be. So I just had to keep doing that over and over again. It was just it was challenging because I had to keep just questioning myself. But he kind of got me, at least the Socratic method really got me questioning everything with myself. So that's been a big help. Another philosopher, probably next biggest, I'd say it's between two, but I'm just going to say Friedrich Nietzsche, or just known as Nietzsche. He's another philosopher, a little bit more controversial, but where he's kind of important, or at least where I draw inspiration from him is his challenging of everything. He's kind of like Socrates, but a lot more aggressive in just dismantling ideas, and just exposing misinformation. And that's just a big part about, he's so critical, and that was an important part about this process, is being critical and harsh with myself. Nietzsche was adamant against any alcohol or any drugs of any kind, especially alcohol too, because he just saw it as like a poison to the mind. It robbed you of your clear thinking, and he was hyper against that. And I'd like to have that same kind of thought process, to just be adamantly against alcohol, not want it illegal or anything, but just to not want it, as much as possible. And if I see alcohol, I want to be offended by it. That's where I kind of hope to just draw inspiration from him from, where I do. He hates alcohol. He's super critical, and that's what that's what I'm really getting, from him. There's other philosophers too. David Hume is a big one. He just goes on about, all these people talk about a lot, and I'm being so general that it's unfair, because I'm not even giving you, I couldn't possibly give you proper ideas as to what these people talked about. Just certain things that they talked about that are inspirations for me, that are helping me not drink, and are a big reason, to just help me fight alcohol. So David Hume just taught important lessons about I want to say, our thoughts on morality, or how we think about it. Kind of hard to get into all of it. There's some other ones too, but probably the biggest one would be Socrates, for this ability to just question myself, and just keep looking for the answers. And when I couldn't present an answer, keep digging, keep asking myself other questions, because just question the hell out of it. Just try to understand, and I want to know. I do want to know why. Why can't I stop drinking? Can't I stop drinking? All these things, and this process of learning is really cool. I mean, it sucks because I'm having to learn, like, my alcoholism. It's like confronting my own problems, but it's been a crazy challenge, and I just feel like I've even come a long way in just a couple weeks. I just feel I can only imagine my earlier videos where I was so uncomfortable just talking to you, the project. I had it set up, and I don't know. Now you're like my best friend. I just carry along and like, hey, I need a video set up, and just talk. Anyway, sorry, I'm off topic. That's Socrates, and philosophy has really helped in that regard. Nietzsche has helped me be extra critical, and that's really, I guess those two are probably just the best examples of single specific philosophers. But philosophy, that's why I picked philosophy, the concept, the topic, the subject, as the inspiration, because I just love learning, and I love understanding and getting better, and I want to understand myself. I want to learn myself. I want to I just feel like I've been so wrong about so many things, and philosophy it's just the best way to break that. My mind and body, I've been operating under like contradictions and facades, and what I mean by that is kind of going back to where I say I was convinced that I could quit alcohol at any time, but was choosing not to. And philosophy, when I try and take a philosophical approach, it gives me that mindset to, like, well, maybe what I'm saying isn't 100% correct. Question my statement, question my own thoughts. Am I really over this? Is this really going to help? Will this really make me stop? Do I really think this will work? Why do I think this will work? Why are those good reasons? Why is this a good answer? Why not a different way? Why not AA? Why not this? This is philosophy, trying to figure it out. And it's these questions that are pulsing through my head all day. This is how I think. But I love to think like that. I love to figure things out and love to learn. So this is a really crazy learning experience just in this 2 weeks. I'm only going to learn more just in the next 2 weeks, as the month finishes, and then we've still got 11 more months after that till we hit our first year of Sober Chat. So that's pretty cool. But I think I covered as my second inspiration pretty well. I love philosophy. It helps me learn. I love learning. I'm learning about myself, and it's helping me figure out the puzzle that is Chet. And I love puzzles. For those of you who don't know, I solve Rubik's Cubes and other puzzles I'll bring into a video. So philosophy, inspiration number 2. That's it for tonight's topic. Sorry, bug. That's it for tonight's topic. So I'm going to head home now. I've got another talk for tomorrow planned, and I've got a few talks actually planned out. So I guess I look forward to talking to you guys about tomorrow's subject, and hopefully you like this. Feel free to ask me questions about anything. I'm always open to questions, or glad to share more information or find new information, any suggestions too. So thanks so much for listening. Have a good one. See you next video. Bye-bye. Okay. It's over, right? Hey, why is it dark?